Welcome back. Still tuned in to Business Lunch this afternoon on CNBC TV18. But let's move on to an exclusive. SEBI has stepped up its scrutiny of startup IPOs. Nisha, you're tracking this story. Tell us more.
Yes, thanks for that, Ekta. Now, several sources that I have spoken to with direct involvement share with CNBC TV18 that the market regulator, SEBI, has increased the scrutiny on the disclosure of KPIs or key performance indicators by the IPO-bound startups. Now, the regulator calls for all KPIs shared with the private investors over the last 3 years to be disclosed in the DRHP for filing for the IPO. However, the issuers have the option to withhold any particular disclosure by giving their reason to SEBI. Now, this step is being taken because so far startups had been selectively disclosing the KPIs in their offer documents, and sources suggest that First Cry is a recent instance where SEBI called for additional disclosures and the company had to refile their offer document with the disclosures of additional KPIs. Now, sources suggest that all the IPO filings are undergoing the similar scrutiny, and this has led to concern and uncertainty in the startup world, including their investors and the iBankers and lawyers working on the listing process. Now, some startups are wary of disclosing certain KPIs shared with the private investors, and their concerns stem from the disclosure of granular details to the public. Now, these companies believe that such disclosures can really impact their competitiveness, as a lot of granular details are shared with the investors who also aid the startups in strategy as well as scaling up. Now, sources also point out that this issue is creating a friction between the startups and their investors as the flow of information is getting restricted due to the current concerns. While the industry is looking for a solution and also standardization of a clear framework with regards to the KPI disclosures, many in the industry I have spoken to believe that in the meantime, the return of the startup IPOs will get delayed and the process of receiving a SEBI clearance will get complex.
Okay. All right, Nisha. Thanks very much for that. So important story there. Let us now shift focus to